real estate broker in Los Angeles, California, the LAProbateexpert.com. And today is our Tuesday real estate investing Zoom.com. We do every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time, which is 6 o'clock on the East Coast. I know for some of you that's a little late, but that's kind of how we roll here. And on this call on Tuesdays, we talk about all things real estate investment. We have brand new wannabe investors. We have people who have started investing, some experienced investors, wholesalers, some flippers, some construction people, some vendors, real estate agents. We really get a broad gamut. I am a real estate broker. I occasionally flip some properties as an investor. My focus is brokering, but I work with investors all the time. And my goal is to help you be more successful at making more income and help you accumulate more wealth. And how do we do that? I really believe, I've been in real estate since 1986. If you do the math, I'm 62 years old. In my entire career, there's never been a better time to make money, income, or wealth than right now. Never. There's never been more opportunity because the uncertainty, if you have some plan or program, this is the chance you have to take advantage of it. If you're new, this is a chance because people need energy, activity. Success comes to those who take action. Never been more opportunities ever, or opportunity for making money. Never been more money. If you don't have any money to start with, it's never been easier to get your first deal financed than today. And if you have a deal that's a deal, you can't get financed, call me. I'll try to help you find somebody. With people on this call that might lend you the money, with people on the call that might put together with the money people, and I might do the deal myself. There has never been a better chance to make income or build wealth in real estate in my entire life than right now. So, but here's the thing I will say, you got to get to work. You got to put the time in and the effort in to build a business in order to be successful. So one of the things that I want to talk about on this call every week, I want to start with a little piece of content, a little coaching or training or something to help people build their business as professionals. And so today I'd like to talk a little bit about making a presentation. What's a presentation? So who here in their business has made professional sales presentations? Right? Anybody in sales, you make a presentation at some point, right? So the question is how good is your presentation? Well, we measure that by the results you get. Now, if you get every contract signed, you're probably not presenting enough. If you get a low percentage signed, you're probably not presenting well enough, or you're seeing too many people. So there's a balancing act. But we want to be effective when we present to people. So what do you think the goal is? When we do a presentation, what do you think our goal is in that presentation? Anybody? You can chat in the chat box, or you can say it out loud. When you go into a presentation, what's your goal?
I think the main point is giving you, not be salesy, but it's the elevator pitch to get to the pain points of what the consumer needs and wants.
Okay, so, but might you know those pain points before you start?
Well, in theory, if you're doing a good presentation, you do want to know that.
So I think that what I would say, just from a format, I would say that we want to know their pain points before we present, right? That's the pre-qualifying stage. If they don't have any pain points, we probably don't want to spend the time presenting to them, who besides me has been given a sales pitch for something that you just weren't interested in. Well, nobody wants to do that. So you have to find out if there's some benefit to them to what you're about to present.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would say that's in the pre-qualifying stage.
Yeah, Bill, I would say the easiest way for me is I have to present a solution to an existing problem that I know, and I can make a safe assumption that that problem exists.
Correct. And ideally, you know about it before you're meeting with them, right?
Right.
We talked about that. This is Christoph from Landvoice. We talked about what kind of people will be on this call. They want to present a little bit about their product, and we'll get to that in just a second. I know we still have people rolling in. But he knew what you guys were interested in before we came here today. Otherwise, it makes no sense to present, right? Mm-hmm. What that was, we're going to mute that for now. Okay, so here's where I want to give you a couple points to think about when you make your presentation. Number one, people give the business the person who earns it, not the person that needs it. When you're a wholesaler, investor, or a real estate agent, and you're trying to get a listing, or a contract signed, they want the person who earns it by solving their problem, not because you need the money. They don't care why you need the money. They don't care how good you are. They want to know how good you'll be at solving their problem or them getting what they want. So when you present somebody to focus on being the solution, I often think of the movie My Cousin Vinny. It's a great movie, one of the funniest ever. And all attorneys have seen it. All attorneys love it. There's a scene in there. There's a couple of scenes where there's the attorney, Vinny, and then there's the public defender, and which one should they use? And it looks like the public defender is better. And then at some point it becomes clear that Vinny is the better attorney. And the guy stands up in court and says to his attorney, "You're fired. I want him to represent me." Our goal as agents is to have a seller say, "I want you to sell my house." When they say that, we're not going to negotiate the commission as much. We're not going to fight about what to do in the house because they want me to do the job. If you believe in me doing the job. Same as an investor. If you come across as professional, knowledgeable, helpful, they're going to want you to help them through the process. If you come across as slimy, quick, like a shyster, they're going to be scared to not do a contract with you. So your presentation is all about being able to earn the business with your prospect, number one. Number two, if you want to know how to improve it, the number one way to improve your presentation is record it. When I coached real estate agents and charged $1,000, $1,500 a month for one-on-one coaching, the number one thing I made them do is record the presentation. I did that because my coach made me. I'd walk in and I'd say to something, "Excuse me, my coach would like me to record the presentation for my training purposes. And I'd be glad to give you a copy if you want a copy of it, but it's just for my coach to listen to. Are you okay with that?" And they'd say yes. I put the phone down and recorded it. Now, if you're doing on Zoom, there's no reason why you can't record it and look at what you said. And if you don't get the contract, why did they not choose me? Right? Look at it critically. We know every sporting team in the world, baseball, basketball, football, they video themselves and break down every step. So we have the ability to do that to improve ourselves as well. Number three, you should always feel comfortable going back to somebody who doesn't choose you and ask them why. If you find out that they didn't sell the house to you and went with another investor, or they didn't list with you and they went with another real estate agent, you should feel free to ask them why. I'm sorry I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm trying to improve. I want to be better in my business. I want to help more homeowners like you. Can I ask you a question? That's funny. Mark Pedrosa says, "What's a ute?" That's hysterical. That's from the movie. You have to see the movie to see it. But my point is, Mark, you got me off track there. You got me totally off track. You want people who want to work with you because you're so good. That's the goal. Okay. And then number 3. Ask them why they didn't list with you, why they didn't contract with you, to learn why. You'll find sometimes they'll come back to you. They chose somebody else. They think they're done with you. If you're polite, that deal might fall apart and it comes back to you. So always ask them why you get the contract. And then the last part is you should always have a process that you follow. Your goal is to improve the number of times, percentage times that you meet with somebody, they do business with you. So you want to pre-qualify them. Before you meet with them, just make sure you're clear what their problem is, what their pain point is. You want to deliver them ahead of time something about your business. Maybe a package, maybe an email, maybe a video presentation that they can look at before you show up. Encourage them to review that before you show up. I send a copy of my listing contract, net sheet, link to my website. Always call before the appointment to confirm. Never just show up. Always call to confirm the appointment before you show up for a presentation. Of course, with COVID now, we're getting back out to appointments. I had an appointment for tomorrow. I called today to confirm. It was going to be the husband, the attorney, and a wife, realtor, and he was going to meet with me first and then later with her. I called this morning and said, well, to be honest, let's both meet together, all three of us. We rescheduled. But I called to confirm to avoid wasting my time going down there today. Show up, be ready to go. You should show up early. The game starts at least 15 minutes before the appointment. And then also follow your process. If you have a process of questions to ask, follow that process. I used to bring an outline of my presentation, and I'd ask those questions in order to help keep me on track. So those are 5 quick points on listing presentation, contract presentation, being a wholesaler, presenting a contract, whatever you want to call it. Anybody have any questions on that particular topic or any experience that you'd like to share with us?
I was going to add that when you're prospecting, you almost have to have the mentality like a doctor. The doctor doesn't pull out his drug drawer and say, oh, you have a headache here, let's put you on this, So again, that goes back to who is your client, what are the needs, and that's important to your presentation and weeding out, and figuring out what stage are they in. And a really non-aggressive way to like follow up and get that feedback as to why they didn't follow up with you for some reason is very easily just say, hey, on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being hit the road, 10 being, I'm ready to sign, where would you find yourself? So if you got elusive people, there's other ways that you can do it because it may have nothing to do with you. They may like you, all the same. They think you're great, but, they looked at their other agent and they said, oh, well, that's why I went with this. That helps with you sharpening your skill set to be able to just, get in there and get the business done.
Okay, spoken from a lady who gets contracts signed regularly, right? Melissa, how many contracts you signed? It's 2021, first 6 months of the year. Do you mind sharing how many contracts have you have signed?
Right now, I'm probably at about 63.
How about that one? Who'd hear like 63 listings? Just curious. How about who'd like 6? I think I did better than 6 this year, but who'd like 6? It's a good number. So thank you. So that's a sales professional telling you what the process has to look like and be serious about it. Great. So I wanted to invite on here today to join us. You may have seen I did a short video with Landvoice. Landvoice is a company I've worked with for years, and I've known both Christoph and Jonathan personally and seen them at events helping people, real estate investors and real estate agents like you guys. So I invited them on today to give us kind of a quick overview, and then I'm going to put in the chat box the link to the video that we just did recently. So Christoph, Jonathan, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely, Bill. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bill. It's great to be here.
So tell me, how do you guys, give me a 1 or 2 minute quick summary on how do you guys help real estate investors find more deals and or real estate agents find more deals in this market?
Absolutely. I'll take the real estate agent part, and Christoph will, every morning, and for the past 27 years, Landvoice has been in business. We're helping real estate agents and investors get key inventory and, of course, the owner's information and a lot of different lead sources. When it pertains to expireds and helping realtors get listings going after expireds, timing is critical. Timing is pretty much half the battle. The other half is just having the correct cell phone information filtering in every morning so you can, develop that duplicatable, consistent process targeting the expireds, in your market. So that's what we're doing. Every morning, you're getting a list of expireds with the names of the owners, the cell phone information ran through the do not call registry. We're providing email addresses, social media, absentee owner records. And we do that, 7 days out of the week without fail. So you guys could go after the data around you. And we also provide really, really good scripts for you guys. We like to say that they're battle proof, because we're using them regularly. We know what's working. We know what scripts you should be implementing right now. If you guys haven't changed your scripts, kind of post-COVID, definitely be sure to download the free downloads that we throw here in the chat. I'm going to provide a list of all of the different scripts that you guys can have access to, whether you're a Landvoice client or not. You'll see that here in the chat here.
Yeah,
so expireds is a big one. For sell by owners is another huge area that we're helping a lot of investors and real estate agents target. You guys give us your top 2 to 3 counties that you work the strongest, and every for sell by owner in your market filters into the platform just like the expireds at 7 a.m. in the morning, and you're getting the same data, the names of the owners, the cell phone numbers ran through the do not call. And it helps you really target the owners that have slipped through the cracks, the ones that you could scoop up and offer some great deals to that will basically jump on it, of course, since no one has been calling them in a long time. So expireds and FSBOs, essentially the low-hanging fruit. Our investors and realtors are targeting them regularly. Christoph, I'll let you take over some pre-foreclosure chat.
Absolutely. Guys, we have been in business for 27 years already, providing seller leads to real estate agents and investors. And one of the big lead sources right now in 2021 is pre-foreclosures.
Right.
And you all know that, right? Because the moratorium coming to an end has come to an end. There are going to be a lot more pre-foreclosures than we had last year, at the same time. So what we propose you do is to call your pre-foreclosures in your area all the way back to January 1st, 2020. Right. Because most of them, even last year, didn't go into foreclosure. They want to know the value of the home. So Landvoice will give you a list basically every single day, and you can go back as far as you want with all the pre-foreclosure with the phone numbers, cell phone numbers, name, address, information about the delinquent date, and of course, information about the home. And with that, guys, you have suddenly, from one day to another, thousands of leads. Mm-hmm. Right. And this is really what we need in this industry right now is we need leads before the competition has them. And that's what Landvoice helps you. By 7 a.m, you're the first one to have those leads.
Right. I'm glad you said that. We just had a question here saying, hey, I use RedX. I'm getting expired leads. There seems to be a lot of wrong phone numbers. Mm-hmm. One of the things I want to point out right away, we know RedX really well. For those of you guys who didn't know, Landvoice actually started RedX. And we made Landvoice and built Landvoice into everything we really wanted RedX to be. They're on a platform where they're producing around 65 to 70% accurate cell phone numbers. Our platform is producing 95% accurate cell phone numbers for expireds. I don't think they're even getting close to the email addresses either. And I know that they're not doing the social media as well. Another thing that they're not doing is actually tracking down the absentee owner records when any of these expireds relocate. So there's a few things that we definitely feel differentiates us from RedX tremendously. And I just pointed those things out with the expireds. Another thing that our investors are taking advantage of left and right is our new neighborhood search. Christoph, do we have enough time to talk about that neighborhood search?
I don't know. That's up to Bill.
Yeah, Bill, sorry. Quick. Sometimes we get carried away.
I know. Give me a 1 minute high level overview. And then again, we have a detailed interview that we did together. Give me a quick high level overview, Cam.
Go ahead.
Okay. Of everything?
Well,
no, just the neighborhood search.
The neighborhood search.
Okay. Yeah. So neighborhood search is a great tool. Oftentimes you need to capture neighbors in a specific region, right? So you can draw a polygon boundary around that region, and it will capture everybody that fits in that polygon area. But you can be more specific and say, you know what, let's go single family homes, condos, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, whatever you want. You click submit, and now you're getting the names, addresses, phone numbers for all those individuals. And you can capture as many as 3,000 a month. At no extra charge. It's just included whether you capture 1 or 3,000. So you can see that in 1 quarter, you can capture and build your database, grow it by 9,000 individuals. That's very powerful.
Yeah. And again, I think some agents think they need to work all over Southern California. And I would say the opposite. The people that I've seen most successful have focused in on very narrow areas for their lead generation. And the neighborhood search is another tool. I might go outside that area for expireds or for sale by owners a bit, but I would really want to dominate one local area, because if you really are, looking at, say, fixing and flipping or buying foreclosures, if you're in one area every day, you're going to know the values like that. You're on the phone,
local.
You can get that deal lined up. When you're outside of those areas, it's more difficult. So good. And again, I did a longer term interview with them on YouTube on my channel. I'll put the link here in the chat box. I put it in the other social media as well, and it'll be in the notes here. So we took about 30 minutes and did a deep dive on Landvoice. It's not such a deep dive because it's a huge product with a lot of great features and benefits. I've used it personally, subscribed to it personally. I would say for an agent that's doing expireds and or FSBOs, absolutely you should use it. I say as an investor, check it out. Different things for different people, but they're professional. They've been around a long time. They've done a good job. I know hundreds of agents who use their product successfully in my career. So Jonathan and Christoph, thank you so much for your support and being online today. I'm not getting paid for this. I just think it's a good source that will, for the investor, I think PropStream is good and there's other ones that are good, but this is the way to go. I think it's a little more professional. I think you'll have really good results and be happy with it. So glad to share with you guys.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you
Thank
very
you guys
much.
for listening.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we cut them loose. There's some data for those of you who want to make some phone calls, want to do some emailing, want to do some text messaging, want to do some lead generation. Who else has anybody here on this call changed their lead generation as a result of changes in COVID? Meaning, and I'm not saying it's over or it's behind us. Certainly there's some changes going on. Anybody here more going out in the field, more door knocking, more personal appointments in the last week or two than before? And how's that working for you? If you're in the chat box, that's fine too. Anybody? Sean, your business has to be going to houses, right? Are you going out and are people more comfortable having you come over to see them, or is there the same level of concern, pushback? What do you see?
It depends if the homeowner's there or not. If it's just the agent, it's back to normal. If the homeowner's there, it's still, I'd say it's 50-50 between booties and masks and or not. And it's kind of 50-50. I would say about 25% of the people are still kind of lockdown mode. 25% really don't care, and then the other 50, I don't see them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
So Bill,
yes.
this is Jack. So I mean, what I do is totally different, but since almost all my cases involve someone's home, well, before the pandemic, I would usually meet them in person at their dining room table to discuss what's going on. Right. And obviously I haven't done that. And just this week, I started asking people again, hey, do you want me to come and we'll look at the papers that you're on your dining room table? I'm fully vaccinated. Everyone in my house is fully vaccinated. And thus far I had one, let me talk to my wife. The other said, yeah, let's figure out a schedule. So I think that's starting to open up.
Yeah, I think if you're comfortable, if you're, whatever that means to you and reasonable, whatever that means to you, I think if you're going to be one of the first people that people are going to see, it's a big advantage. It's just a big personal advantage in relationships that I've restarted because I'm vaccinated. I believe it's reasonable for me to be out and about a bit. I have to be careful people sneeze, be careful about, whatever, and I think I am. But that said, I think because I'm taking the opportunity to meet people who are comfortable with it, I'm able to regenerate relationships more deeply, easily, quickly, because I'm the only person they've met with in months, one of the very few they've met with in months. So thank you, Jack, for that insight. Melissa, you joined the BNI. Does that mean you guys are meeting? Is the BNI having live meetings again?
Some of them are, and they did a vote with the group to see what the comfort levels of everybody is. They're already starting to do like little social events at people's houses. So we're not exactly going back to the old school, like we're meeting here every day at this time. I think it's more convenient to do it remotely like this. You don't have to get in your car and put aside a couple hours to network.
Right.
So, I mean, I do see a little bit of a change in it. I've been in people's homes and doing appointments the entire time, and we just socially distance, wear our mask, and a lot of them are like, you're in my home. I'm vaccinated. I'm fine. I don't care if you come in. So I haven't really seen too much of a change with COVID before or even now. It kind of feels like it's been the same a little bit.
So let's see. And Jackson's made the networking groups being in person full-time or part-time. He's going to a Taco Tuesday networking event. Well, that sounds like fun, Jack. Are you going there for the tacos or the business? Be honest.
Absolutely the tacos.
Yeah, I go for the tacos. Throw a beer in and you own me. Now, just for what it's worth, in other states, like in Florida, it's wide open. In Texas, it's back to normal, 100%. I have I'm part of a team, an 800-person national team, and about half our people are in Texas. And they are full on lunch and learns, meetings. I'm sure some people aren't participating, and no judgment, but those that are, there's plenty that are, and events are big. So 2 real estate tours are going live this week down in San Diego. Okay. You mean you say tours, you mean like a broker preview thing where the realtors show properties and stuff and they tour the properties? Yeah. So there you go. And now be interesting to see how many people put the house on the market and allow them to tour. The challenge of the tours is you have to get the realtors to come to tour the property, and then you have to get the properties to make the realtors want to come toward the property. And they're both challenges in this market with inventory, you can imagine. But they're opening back up again. Yeah, I think I'd say things are happening. And for those of us whose business is out making, sales, being the first one out, again, no judgment, when it's safe, with the right precautions, I think is a big opportunity for you to help advance your business tremendously. What else you
Bill?
guys? Yes, Anders,
Yeah.
yes.
So I've been door knocking since basically February, and door knocking. I haven't seen that has been a problem. You have your mask. You take a step away from the door so people feel safe, and then any meetings I've asked how they want to do it, and often it's Zoom or on the patio in the backyard. In masks and social distancing. What I've seen now the past week or two is, like many mentioned here, I've seen on Redfin a lot more open houses in LA area, and also networking groups that used to do online has gone live.
Well, thank you for sharing that. One of the challenges of networking groups is getting locations. I know that some locations, it took years to build up a big event to get, the traffic, to get maybe free space. And then now that restaurant's out of business, and to get started again for some of these networking groups is hard. If you have an office or you have access to a vendor who has a conference room or meeting room, I think it's a tremendous opportunity to leverage that if you're in any kind of group at all. Because it's not that they don't exist, it's that the restaurant doesn't want to give it out free to a group they don't have experience with. They're hesitant to. They're also, I think, these bigger corporate restaurants are scared, don't have procedures in place yet to allow the groups to come in as easily, and that's changing every day. I know I'm actually looking for space to hold an event here in LA. We're looking for one in Diamond Bar, Long Beach, and Orange County. So stay tuned for some live events here. As soon as we get them booked, we're gonna be out there. But some of them, like one of them wants us to serve lunch to everybody. Well, you have 100 people for lunch. You're talking about thousands of dollars. In our case, we're just looking for meeting rooms with coffee. But that business is struggling to get started again. There's some logistical issues, but definitely take advantage of it if you can. Anybody else seeing any changes in the market as far as live events, live door knocking? Appreciate Anders, you telling me. Anders, what area are you door knocking in? The Valley?
No, I'm door knocking. My area I'm focused on is I don't know, zip code's 9001618. So that is like
Mid-Wilshire?
Jefferson Park, Leimert Park, kind of east of Leimert Park. Yeah, and I've been up in Cypress Park too.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not too far from there. Very nice. Good. Anybody else out door knocking? No? Yeah, Jackson. Go ahead, Angie.
If you don't mind me asking, to the last person who was door knocking, I have a question. Do you have a particular script when you approach the doors? What is your first to go say words for the people who you door knock on?
No, I don't have a specific script because it's so. I have an opening that I do. So when I door knock, I either door knock for I'm real estate investing, flipping, solar. I'm a independent consultant for Power, which is a solar energy company, and I also am an ambassador for a construction company. So I choose a little bit on what I see on the house, which I open with. For example, if there's Tesla parked on outside the house and they don't have solar panels on the roof, I kind of open with that. If it's if the roof is really bad, I open with construction or so it all. But then I've tried with scripts, but it's hard to keep on a script because basically after when you open, people's response are so different. So I feel that I can't keep to a script. It's just something that I you need to practice and you need to learn. I was never very good at it to start off with. So I'm getting better and better. And the first 50 knocks you do, they're probably not going to be very good, but you're going to have to get through the first 50 knocks, and you're doing a mediocre job with it, and you're getting better and better. The best way is actually to role play with someone. That is actually the best way of doing it, and then be able to adapt according to the person you're talking to.
Okay, I
Well,
appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's because it varies because of different houses. So it's all off experience. Thank you so much for your feedback.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Angie, I would add to that. I think the best way to do it is to do it. There's certain things that you just can't learn by practicing. You have to be in it, and then your senses are heightened, and you pay more attention. Personally, I had a lot of people tell me I should do more video as a real estate agent, and I resisted. And about a year ago, March, I made the commitment. How did I learn? I just did it. I did a video and made a couple mistakes. It was terrible. I redid it. To this day, I'm trying to improve it every day. I've improved certain things, other things I need to work on. But we get better and better and better at it the more we do it. And I would say, having personally cold called 3 hours a day for a couple of years as a real estate agent, as a coach, having coached hundreds of salespeople on cold calling, the only way to learn is to do it. You gotta just pick up that 10,000-pound phone to your ear, and get on the phone and make those phone calls. If I can encourage you in any way, I would be glad to. Okay, so well, that's good information. Angie, does that help you a little bit?
Definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you guys.
I'll also give you another free tip. Record yourself when you make your phone calls. Because yes,
Oh,
you're
that would
making
be great. Yeah.
It'll be brutal to listen to yourself, but you know what? You'll catch yourself. You say, should have said that. Oh, as soon as I hung up, I thought of this thought. And if you just spend 10 minutes, if you call for an hour and just listen to yourself for 10 minutes, it's hard because there's a bunch of hang-ups or dials along the way. But if you just listen to yourself a few times, you'll improve tremendously. Sorry to get started.
Do you want to hear from a lawyer about that, or should I just close my ears?
Go right ahead.
If you're going to record calls, you have to let the other person know you're recording and get their permission in if either one of you is in California, and there's a few other states.
For the record, Jack is right. It would be wrong to record people and not get their permission ahead of time. It would be wrong. I don't mean to make light of it. I mean, it's privacy issues. Look, certainly you don't want to record something and use it against somebody. That's for sure inviting disaster. And he is right that you should get the permission. But it's interesting you said, Jack, because there's tools that I use a Prospect Boss for Dialer sometimes, and they record the calls. I'm not asking anybody for permission on those calls. It's interesting how that can happen. But okay. There you go.
I was going to add too, if you don't want to do the record thing, you could always get a little mirror on your desk too.
Yes.
And you're always supposed to smile while you're talking because it comes through the phone. You don't sound like a zombie, and they're more receptive to you. And those are the other things that you can kind of practice, and then you implement that while you're in front of people as well.
Mirror, smile, stand up, use a headset or use earbuds or something where you're not holding the phone to your ear. So your arms are free and you can walk around, and by standing up, your diaphragm's open and you have more energy. Those are a couple of basic requirements when you're making phone calls. I have a headset for my phone call. I have a separate desk. Even though I'm standing here, I have a separate desk for phone calling from them. It's all set up for that. But definitely make it as
tonality too. Tonality and the rate that you speak. If you're very fast, they're like, oh, what's going on with this person? They're just want to get me off the phone.
Ouch. Yes. Yeah, the goal, I mean, I actually used to do a lot of training on cold calling. Not only is it the pace, you're supposed to pace the same speed as your prospect. So when you talk to a slow talker, you need to talk as slow as they do. When you talk to a fast talker like me, if you don't talk as fast as me, I assume you're stupid subconsciously. And now that's a character defect, but that's just the reality of most people who talk fast. And so when you talk to me, you got to talk fast. You got to get to the point because I'm busy and I got things going on. A slow talker, you got to slow down and give them plenty of time to explain things. That's what they want to be heard. So yeah, I could do maybe I should do one sometime on telemarketing. That's an area of some expertise in. Angie, make some phone calls, come back next week and tell us how much money you made, okay? Okay, So any other questions, challenges, real estate? Who's got a deal they want to talk about? Anybody? No? You guys doing deal? I got all kinds of deals calling me.
Their addresses.
Well, let's find some great abandoned properties. You have any properties you want to share with us today that people can go by and try to door knock?
I emailed you the one. I don't even know what it came up from it. And then I keep trying to get my owners to give me their addresses instead of go through their prized realtors. And they're like, no, I worked with them first. And I always respect that relationship. So this week I don't, but I'm always on my eye out for everybody.
So there's a property that you showed me last week. Can I share that?
Of course you can. Yeah.
So 1067 East Gladwick in Carson. 1067 East Gladwick in Carson. And really when Melissa is driving, when she brings up properties, what's your criteria? What is it that you saw about that property that you said, this is something that's of interest to me?
So usually I look to see if the roof looks like it's, needs to be replaced, if there's chip paint, if there's multiple non-op cars, if there's, it doesn't look like there's a gardener that's servicing the area. So we've got overgrowth of bushes. And if I see a lot of junk in the front of the yard, I kind of assume that something's going wrong at the property. And I'll just take a quick snapshot as I'm driving in between appointments. And I'm like, you know what, these people might need help. And I know there's all walks of life. Sometimes they're not interested at all, but you never know. Sometimes it's just, it's an elderly person. They just use the kitchen, the bathroom, and they don't use the rest of that space. So, hey, what does it make sense? Let's get them out of that property, get them into a small condo where it makes sense and make them happy.
So I'll show you a fascinating about that particular property. Let's see if I can share my screen here. And where is it? Not there, not there. Screen 2, not there. Where is it? Oh, advanced files. No, I don't know why I can't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if you were to Google search and hit Redfin, we'll be back soon. You go to Zillow, Google Maps is blurred. How's that for interesting? I've never seen that. We researched the property, couldn't find any reason why it was listed, or why it didn't appear to be listed, didn't appear to be in probate. No explanation as to why. So for those of you who drive for dollars in that area, you might want to try to find out.
The owner requested it.
Okay, so the owner requested it.
That's why it happened.
I've never seen that. It would take that, and I don't know necessarily how. Like, how do you get Redfin to do that? You call them; their customer service isn't that on the ball. How do you get Google? Who would you talk to at Google to do anything?
A form.
Is there?
There's a form. There's a form on Google Maps to do it, and there's two reasons why they'll blur it out. One will be the owner requests it, and two, if law enforcement requests it, like that Gonzalez guy in Cleveland who kidnapped the two women. His place it's gone now, but his place is blurred out also.
Okay.
So if you see a blurred out house, it's either the owner requested it or a terrible crime took place there.
Wow.
Or both.
Wow. Okay, there you go. Well, I'm guessing the owner didn't request it, whatever that means. There's all kinds of inoperable cards there in front. So I don't know. I just share that information. It's just interesting. We find these cases, find fascinating opportunities. So again, I always look for the problems, because if I solve the problems, then I get paid, and that's really what I do. The money we make in real estate or as businessmen is a reflection of the value we create for other people. So, okay, anybody else have any challenges, questions, problems we can share here before we wrap up? Was this valuable to have the guys from Landvoice sharing their data? Is that helpful? They offer a free 7-day demo if you want to try it out. But really just I don't get affiliate income. I'm not, maybe someday I will. My real purpose, or I should say long run goal, would be to find a vendor like that who'd help me maybe host local events in other states as I expand my business. But I'm not asking anything from them today. And I've been interviewing different sources. I really want to be able to be a resource and share my personal experience on these companies rather than have you go to YouTube and maybe get somebody who's being paid to advertise their products. That's my goal behind that. So if you have a particular program or service that you offer to real estate investors or realtors that you think is of value, I'm all about sharing that. And Melissa, we've had you talk about property management. Maybe we're overdue to do that again. Sean, I know you're on the call regularly, but you're certainly welcome. You put your link here if you want to talk about maybe what you do sometime, do a 5-minute something, or maybe you and I could do offline like a 30-minute interview and record it and share that. I'd be glad to promote your business. But I'm really anxious to help you guys share your business. For all of you on the call today, thank you for being on. We do this every Thursday at 3 o'clock, realestateinvestingzoom.com, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. And then Thursday, I do probateweekly.com. There's 4 o'clock on Thursdays, Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. If you're seeing this social media, like it, please like it. Questions or comments, put it in the comment box. I think I respond to all the comments that I get today. Love to have you subscribe and join us. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much for participating. Thanks,
Thank
Melissa.
you.
As
Take
always.
care.
Patricia Castillo, nice to see you.
Nice to see y'all.